And we are live. I today, well, first thing, this is always a mess. I have a long day, and then I don't know what I'm going to say. Today we're going to do something different or not different. I'm going just to invite my friend Pxlpatty to the stream immediately, and I'm going just to we're going to talk a little bit about, and I'm going to play also this beautiful thing. We're going to play trading card game. Well, let's start from the beginning. So, welcome to this episode. This episode is going to be on Tezos, just like last week, and we're going to explore a little bit of a thing I told you last week. That is Pixel Debates. I was not expecting that the alpha would be released this week, but it was a really good thing. And I rushed, and I found someone that was willing to come and test the game live, or at least see my reaction, which is also a good thing. Because I like to play, and I'm really, really excited just to try this for the first time. It's really a thing. So welcome, Pxlpatty, or if you want another name, just tell me. So if you want to say a few words before we start playing, well, we should at least tell people what Pixel Debates and Pixel Photos are. So be my guest.
All right. Well, first, thanks for having me on. Audio sounds good?
Yeah. It's
okay. Good. So my name is Patrick, and I'm part of the design team. And our company, we're working with Pixel Global to develop some games. If you want to look at what we've already done, I think you've done a video on Pixel POTUS, right?
Yes. Last week I did something about it, but we can show it here. So I'm actually sharing that screen. Let me see. What we're seeing is actually, do you want to start with Pixel POTUS?
We can. Pixel Debates, it does operate independently. There are some interesting connections to Pixel POTUS. If you want to get into that, we can. But basically, Pixel Debates is a strategy trading card game. So that's what it is. And the cards are all collectible NFTs on the Tezos blockchain. And we launched our own token, Pixel, PXL, which you can grab on KeepuSwap if you would like. And we also have Pixel DAO, which is we're going to have a lot of interactions in the community. For instance, maybe we'll be buffing or nerfing certain abilities, and you can vote with your Pixel DAO on things like that, or directions we might take in the future.
Okay. So for you, I'll tell you my vision, my take on the Pixel POTUS in a very simple way. I'm not a specialist. I'm not a dev. I'm not. And I don't have the technical skills, but what I see here is an amazing way of collecting stuff. Because for our audience that doesn't know, and actually last week I could just grab immediately 3 people that started collecting this, is you can do 1 claim per day of Pixel POTUS. So you just go down here. Actually, it's going to reset in 17 minutes or something like this. So you can claim 1 POTUS, or you can just spend 0.125 TES to get another one, or you can claim all of the 6 of them. So you can claim 6 per day, and then you have a collection. You can actually see the collection. This is my collection. You can upgrade these cards, and then you can. Well, there's a purpose for this. You're going to evolve the cards to a level. That is basically, you're going to get, if you burn 2 common, you get 1 uncommon, and then the same for rare, and then the same for an epic, and so on and so on and so on. The purpose is just to get the legendary, well, legendary, no, the unique, it's a 1 of 1. And this one will grant you some things, including hands on the honey pot that is the treasury over here. There's more stuff to it, of course, and the same with Pixel Debates. The Pixel Debates, just go over here. It has more or less the same thing, and you can do the claim daily. Actually, I can claim mine now. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it later. It's easy. It's pretty easy. I showed it on the last episode.
Incredible self-restraint.
Yeah, and then you can see your collection over here. You just you're going to fuse 3 fragments. Actually, I can see cards that can level up. You fuse 3 cards, and you're going to get. You always have 1 fragment per day for free, and then you can claim all the other ones to 6 again. And then you fuse these 3, and you're going to get the cards that you can use to play the game that you're going to play. And then, of course, there's a thing that is common also to the 2 of them. That is the market. You can actually trade the cards. We have a big audience that works with WAX and EOS. Then usually we don't do these kind of things, but here you can trade card per card or card per thesis. So it's a thing. Some of them are pretty rare. Some of them are not. So it depends a lot. There's a lot of gamifying things over here and markets wise. Anyway, this is short. Was I good just saying all of this?
That's excellent. Go ahead.
So now about the game, because I can go deep into this later on. I think I'm very excited about the game. I'm finding my brain not to play it. I want to play it with someone that knows about this, and they can actually help me. I took a look at the deck, and that was it. Actually, I'm going to change it's I need to change this. Let me see what's wrong. Okay, that's wrong. Yeah, it's it. Okay.
Would you like a little bit more I guess background and information on the game?
Yeah.
Okay. So like I was saying earlier, we're working with Pixel Global. They launched the Pixel token to use in this game and in future games, and also possibly other people, entities that want to gamify their systems. We're open to introducing Pixel into their ecosystems as well. So Pixel Debates is so basically, if you look at the cards, do you want to pull up the video with some of the cards? Yeah. Why don't you go to Deck Builder maybe?
Okay. Here, but Deck Builder. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what you see here are debates. They're tactics. So what we've done is we've researched debate tactics, both classical and modern. And in classical debate, what you have are a lot of good faith tactics, which a good faith debate tactic is like you're sitting with somebody and you're having a discussion because you're trying to solve a problem, right? And you're trying to get down to the nitty gritty, the truth of something, right? And those are all blue. If you scroll up, those are going to be blue. And there's no political affiliation with this. I'm sorry. It just, unfortunately, the colors lined up with, some.
Yeah, of course, no blue or red.
Yeah. And we've also given some of the POTUS, POTUS is President of the United States. So we've given some of them alignments with either good faith or bad faith. And please don't take that too seriously if you happen to like a certain president and don't like that they're using nasty tactics in their debates. But anyways, so the blue cards are good faith. And like I say, it's a discussion. Now, the red cards are bad faith arguments. And bad faith tactics they're tactics that people use in order to make themselves look good and make their opponent look bad. So it's not really about truth. Really, it's not really about solving an issue. It's really just about, just
sabotaging,
persuading the crowd. And this is pretty much the last 50, 60 years, at least in America. I think all over the world, you're going to be seeing, if you watch any kind of debates, you're going to be seeing a lot of these, ad hominem, which is, you ignore their argument and you go for a personal, attack on their character, right? Or something like that. So a lot of dodges and sneaky little maneuvers and stuff. And so we've given some of these cards special abilities. Some of them are just, arguments. Now, if you look at the top left of the card, there's a number and it says, like here, the ad hominem attack, right? Whoop, deck is full.
Yeah.
So the card has a strength of the argument. So the argument has a strength, right? And that's how much damage you're going to deal to your opponent's fortitude, unless they block it, right? And then on the right side, top right of the card, you'll see another number, and that is the cost. And that's how much it costs you, your personal fortitude. It turns out that debating is exhausting work, right? So even though your argument has strength, it also does have cost to you, right? So there's some subtle intricacies there that it takes a little bit of thinking to really wrap your mind around how it works, and hopefully that will create a lot of different strategies, which will make the game fun, right? So there you have it. Any questions?
No, as for now, no. But well, actually one. So you start with fortitude, right? So that's
right.
Usually me as a player of Magic the Gathering and Gods Unchained and all of these games, it's basically you start with 30 points or something like this. It's your life, right? And you start losing. Here it's fortitude. How many points do you start with?
Your HP, basically,
yeah. But how many do you have at the beginning?
Right. Well, most POTUS, so each POTUS has a unique set of abilities they bring to the table, because you build your deck, your debates around your POTUS strengths and weaknesses. So most POTUS, we're giving them around 35 mental fortitude. Washington has 40, and that seems strong. But right now, his ability is a little bit weak in this current meta because he doesn't have a whole lot of crowd work, and his ability is crowd work. But anyways, long story short, you have your fortitude. You're trying to wear out your opponent while preserving your own. And that's the game. Whoever wears down their opponent first wins. And that's the match.
Okay. So if I want to build a deck, I have to make some decisions, some hard decisions, right? Using the blue cards, the red cards, and the purple cards, right?
Right.
And everything can happen, right? It's as far as I see it. I try to build a deck and try to think about it, but you have to play just to get there, right?
You really do. Yeah. So let me explain the purple. So the purple cards, scroll down, are rhetorical devices. So you have arguments, and you have a special kind of argument called a rhetorical device, and they're RD for short, and they are persuasive elements. So they have a special persuasive power over the crowd. And when we get in game, I'll show you how they manipulate the crowd, these persuasive elements, right? Now, you can only play them on top of arguments, kind of like, enchantments or buffs or, equipments, or however you want to talk about them. But you can't just put a naked persuasive device out there on its own. You have to put it on top of a argument. So let's build a deck real quick. I see you have a Wilson already constructed. So why don't you push the plus sign?
Okay, the plus
on the top
sign,
left.
Top left here. Okay.
Yep. Okay, and whoever fits your fancy. Now, if you click on the eye there on the bottom of the card, you'll flip it, There you go. And now you can see the ability. So that'll help you to build your deck around the POTUS ability. And then on the front, you'll see any natural alignments. So Washington has no alignments. Roosevelt gives +1 to all. See, there's a blue
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
He gives
Okay.
+1 to all blue cards, right? Obama gives a +1 to all red cards. Bush gives a +1 to all red cards. Truman gets +1 to both. Jackson 0. So this is kind of an easy way we can kind of tweak and balance the POTUSes. Some of them have been quite strong, so we had to remove their alignments. Some of them needed a little extra help, and that's, like I say, we may let the community help to decide who needs to get buffed and who needs to get nerfed. So you'll see once you start playing around.
Yeah.
So go ahead and select one.
Okay. I'm going to Woodrow Wilson. I don't know why.
Another Wilson deck? You want to do 2 Wilson decks? Okay.
I can do 2 decks with
You
Wilson.
can build as many variations of the same POTUS as you want.
Okay. So I'm choosing another one. Okay.
Another
so
one? Okay.
I'm going to do Roosevelt. I'm going to.
All right. Teddy.
I don't know.
Teddy is powerful. Okay. Yeah, Teddy is probably one of the strongest here. So he has a good faith alignment. So we're going to probably want to put mostly blue cards in there. And the ratio you typically want, especially with Teddy, you're going to want probably about 10 arguments. So go ahead and select 10 blue cards. Good.
Okay, this is like, it's very, I see that there's already a 5 years, so to play it, I need a lot of energy, if we can call it like that, right?
It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. So that's a high cost card. You probably don't want to get a whole lot of those.
Yeah.
But that one has a special ability. It shifts the crowd extra. So you do want that. You really want to kind of overwhelm, get the crowd in your favor, and that buffs all your arguments. And we'll explain that once we get into the game. Okay. So that's really good.
Yeah. So I can start thinking about how do I play these kind of things. So I'm usually with a fast destroying deck, and I usually need a couple of really strong cards.
Right.
Because I have enough energy just to spawn them.
Right. So now you do start off with your starting fortitude, and in a way it's also your mana, but you can spend into the negatives. You can go all out and overwhelm yourself and your opponent.
Okay, I'm picking like 3 of randomly, 3 of 1 without 1 energy.
That's good.
What makes sense to me.
That's really good. Yeah, and I would mix in. See that on the plausible deniability there on the second tier on the left side.
Okay.
Go ahead and grab that, because you're going to want to just try to overwhelm your opponent with a lot of arguments. And if you combine that with 5 or 6 arguments, it's very, very good for you.
Okay. And then something mid-tier.
Yeah.
Like this to make it more balanced. And I'm guessing if he's strong with the blue cards, maybe 8 to 10 cards blue, right?
Yeah. I would do at least 9.
Okay.
Probably 10. More. And you can you can throw in some red cards. It's actually really good to throw in press your buttons, because if you are going all in, because Teddy is really an all-in kind of guy. If you're going all in, then you can really punish your opponent for blocking you by playing a press buttons, because it makes all of their arguments cost more.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and if you have a lot of blue cards coming in, your opponent is actually expecting you to play blue, and when one red shows up, it probably is going to destroy a little bit of his strategy.
Maybe so. Maybe
I don't know. I haven't played it yet. Just thinking.
Sure.
So
there's 9. Do you want to throw in some rhetorical devices?
Yes.
Okay. So Yeah, Teddy, if you want to throw in crack a joke, that shifts the crowd extra.
Okay.
And then perhaps some card draw is good. Maybe an epiphany on the left side there.
Okay.
And then whatever else fits your fancy. If you want to go aggro, you could throw in a character assassination, ruffle feathers, identify non-arguments, dismantle argument. Those are all kind of control and aggro type cards.
Okay.
Reiterate is probably the best. You can double an ability, which is quite potent. If some of the abilities, yeah.
And I'm missing one.
Missing one, so either another RD or perhaps another argument. Either or.
Okay, I'm going strong on the arguments. Okay.
Okay, so you want to name your deck on the top of the there, yeah. Okay, type in what you want to call it.
Yeah, something.
All right, good.
That's
and,
That's what.
And save.
And save.
Deck is saved. Okay.
Okay. It said it has less than 15 cards, but it has 15.
Yep. And if you have less, it'll harass you. Yeah. And you can see the stats there. You've got 8 good faith, 1 bad faith, and 6 rhetorical devices. If you look there, and 15 cards. Also forgot to show you there is a filter bar. So if you click on arguments up there,
okay.
So that's just the arguments, and then abilities. Cycle through those. So those are just the tactics with abilities. So tactics are arguments and RD together, right? They're cards. Okay, so there you go. So let's go down to the arena, and I will match with you. Hopefully, we do have a couple people cruising around, so hopefully you don't match with them. You can just exit out if you match with them.
Okay. So whenever you're ready.
Okay, let's do 1, 2. Oh wait, hold on. Let me switch out my deck. Okay, now let's see what you have. You have Teddy selected. Excellent. Okay. So, and let's start duel. Oh, nope. Okay, I got a different player. So let me exit out and start duel. There we go. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I actually matched with my our playtester Audio Lupus, who is he's a monster at this game. It's really hard to beat him. So
yeah, we should.
Fortunately, you're playing against me today, and all right. So it looks like it's my turn. So why don't you look around on the screen, and do you want to just ask questions about what you see?
Okay. For now, I see that the crowd is on our left side.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's this 7 around here? 7 and 0.
Okay. So on the lower part, that's your enlightened citizen meter.
Okay.
So you're 7% enlightened citizen, which means that all of your blue cards will get a 7% strength bonus.
Okay.
Okay. Rounded to the nearest whole number.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and then here, this is the cards I have.
Yes, sir.
I start with these,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, this is great. I'm spying on all your cards. This is excellent. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then that's usually how it works. Right. This is yours. I cannot see it. There's probably a card that will reveal some of yours. I don't know yet, but probably yes.
Not yet. We had some, I really pared down. I had 150 cards in the first set, and it was, it was quite a bit to manage, and it was very complex. So we kind of pared down to a 50 card set here. So simplified.
Then over here, I can see this is the number of cards that I hold in my hand at the moment.
Right. You've got 6 in your hand.
This is my cemetery, as we call it, usually.
Above that, the little box right below the intern there, bell. The box.
The bell? Yeah, the bell here.
No, the bell on the right side, in the middle.
In the middle.
Right, on the far right side.
Far right side.
Up.
Up. Yeah, the
Right
bell.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the bell. Okay.
Okay, and turn. Okay.
Yeah, and below that, there's a little white outline. That's your graveyard. So
Okay.
you have 0 in the icons down below. You have 0 in your graveyard. You have 9 left in your deck. Now, when you get to the end of your deck, it will cycle at round start. Now, if you use a card draw mechanic, it won't cycle. So keep that in mind. We may change that in the future. Now, if you click on the coin next to your POTUS, that is your POTUS ability. You want to go ahead and read it?
Okay. Okay. How do I activate this? Is this passive or?
This POTUS ability is completely passive. So maybe that's a little easier for beginners to use the passive POTUSes. We do have several passive POTUSes. And some POTUSes, like I'm using Jackson, he has an activated ability. So I have to really click it and use his tokens, allocate them around the board. So,
which is not very good for beginners because usually beginners forget that they can activate, and they lose a lot of games like this.
So we do have 7 POTUSes right now in alpha, and if you want to just kind of cruise, you've got Teddy, you've got Obama, and I think that's it. Teddy, yeah, and Wilson, yeah. Teddy, Obama, and Wilson are all passives. Okay. So you get a little bit of everything. That's what makes Teddy so strong. He's just he's hitting you from every angle. He gets a fortitude every round. He gets an extra card every round, and he shifts the crowd towards the citizen every round. So yeah, and also he's a trust buster. So you can't be piling on RD onto your arguments. You can only put 1 per argument. So keep that in mind. Now, when you place an RD on top of an argument, it passively shifts the crowd in whatever direction that is. So if you put a purple card on a blue card, it's going to make that 7 and 8, right?
Okay.
But since it's a passive and it technically resolves at round end, destroying that purple card, like if I were to play Identify Non-Argument and destroy it, it's going to reverse. It's going to reverse it, right? Because I just, I pointed out to the crowd that you were using some sneaky tactics, and so
yeah,
you lost your edge, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's my turn because I have 6 cards and you have 5.
Well, let's see here. It's actually my turn, so let me just take my first turn here, and maybe we'll explain more of the mechanics as we go.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put an open-minded approach. I'm very open here, but I'm also going to get rid of some of your cards. So I'm going to ruffle your feathers. So see, it shifted the crowd up to 8 here. So now if you look in the center of my thread, the thread is the column, right?
Yeah.
It's a 6-2. So if you add up the strengths, 4 plus 2 is 6. So the strength of my thread is 6. That's coming at you, and it costs me 2. It's gonna take me down by 2 fortitude no matter what. Okay, so then I'm just going to click the bell and pass my turn. Should be your turn now.
Now I have to defend, right?
Or not? You ought to. We will be forced players to play at least 1 argument on their first round. Right now you can just skip your turn if you want to and just play on your second phase. Or you can play on your first phase. But in the spirit of the rules of the game, you are supposed to play. We just haven't implemented that yet. So go ahead, go ahead and play an argument in response.
Okay.
You probably want to save that one. That's for when you go all in. You want to punish with that.
Okay.
So
let me see. Let's start with this one. So drag it. There's one thing I need to tell you immediately.
Okay.
This should be always also pointing my side, so I can see what's written on the letter.
Right.
On the
Why
card.
don't you hover over it real quick? Just
okay.
Just stay hovered. Okay.
Okay. So forget what I said.
Well, we've heard that a few times, and it is intuitive. So if you hover over the blue card underneath, there you go. So now you can see my arguments, and you can see my RD. Okay.
Okay.
Now we've heard that a couple times. We did flip the thread, see the strengths line up and the costs line up. So 6 to 5, that means you're taking 1, right? And then I take 2, you take 1, right? Cost.
Okay.
So
but I can add one of these.
You can, sure. Yeah, I would. Yikes. You got me. Now, eventually we're going to have sound effects and perhaps some animations eventually for everything to make it more interactive,
Okay, so the purpose of each turn, it's basically that one plays attack and the other one plays defense, and it basically, well, it's an argument. So
yeah,
whoever wins the argument, then we're going to see how many points do you lose on that turn, right?
Right.
And I see that my thing here on the left side, this number just increased to 9.
Yeah. You played a rhetorical device on a blue card, a good faith argument. Therefore, you shifted the crowd. We have a nice, healthy crowd here.
Okay.
Now that actually works a little bit more in your favor than my favor, because Jackson doesn't have any inherent alignments bonus. He relies entirely on his dual tokens. So I may have to try and shift the crowd back down before it gets out of my way, but it's already in your favor, so I don't know if I can, but we'll try.
Okay. So end turn.
Sure. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So I can't play any more RD on top of my argument, so I'm stuck there. But what I can do, I'm going to go ahead and use my POTUS ability. So I'm going to use Andrew Jackson's ability, and I can either put tokens on my thread to buff my strength, or I could put tokens on your thread to nerf your strength. So watch your strength. Okay, you ready? See,
Yeah.
so right now it's 7, and there's 1 token, 6, 2 tokens,
Okay.
5, 3 tokens. It's 4 tokens. Now yours is a 3, and mine is a 6. So currently you're going to be taking 3 fortitude loss, 3 damage from me is overage. So how you calculate overage is you compare the 2 strengths, the white numbers, you subtract them from each other, and the winner deals the leftover damage as overage, as fortitude.
It's like an overkill.
Yeah. It's like my argument just trampled over yours, and really hurts your ego. I smacked you one, right? So there's that. Okay, I'm going to pass my turn.
And now I have to try to do something.
Yes, but because of Teddy's ability, you can't really. So the first round, the first player creates the threads, right? That's called setting the tone of the debate, right?
Yeah.
So you can't play on any more columns. You can't create any new threads, so you can't really get around me there because I was the first player. However, you are the second player, so you do have the last word. So you can take a turn and do stuff, and I have no turn to respond except for there is a POTUS phase where we have 10 seconds where we can kind of rush to make some POTUS abilities happen. So I could save my tokens and I could use them in POTUS phase, but I went ahead and used them during my turn. So right now we're kind of at a lockdown, a standstill because of Teddy's Trustbuster ability. So why don't you go ahead and end the turn? Okay. Now we have 10 seconds. I could be setting down tokens right now, but all right. Now we're starting a new round. So your cards in hand, you had 3 in hand, so you draw up to 5. So you drew 2 extra cards, and then Teddy has a special ability that gives you an extra card, so you drew, making your hand total 6. And I drew up to 5 cards, right, making my hand total 5. So I have 8 cards left in my deck. You have 6. Okay, now it's your turn to go first. Now you can set the tone of the debate. So you can play as many arguments as you want, and you have 7 threads to play it on, 7 columns to play. Anywhere you want. There's an abductive argument, which is it's basically best fit hypothesis. Some of these are a little bit, you might want to look them up. Okay. Good. There you go. Draw a card. Get some more options. Excellent.
I can play more cards, how many cards that I want during one turn.
Yeah, if I were you, I would just try to punish me, because Teddy has that overwhelming card draw. So just play all your arguments and try to just overwhelm me. Just gamble on the idea that I don't have a press buttons in my hand, and you can gamble on the idea that I don't have a lot of arguments in my hand. Perhaps maybe I put too much rhetorical devices in my hand. So yeah, I would play your press buttons and your plausible deniability. Absolutely, yes. Okay.
Okay, now I understand why we have so many columns over here.
There you go. There you go.
So
now
I'm
you
not
have
going, and now let me explain why I'm not going to use these two. Because first, this one, copy opponent's last static, makes no sense because you haven't played yet.
Right. You have to wait for that one. Yeah.
And this one, shift the crowd +2, I have to keep it at play as for now, because I don't need to play it.
Right. Now it actually, here's the one advantage. If you played that RD on one of your important cards, so the press buttons and the plausible are both very powerful cards, right? So if you want to protect them, you can play your I would play your crack joke on your plausible. And what that does is it puts an RD on an argument. Now, there is a tactic, an RD called dismantle argument. It says destroy opposing free argument. So what that means is I can play an argument across from your plausible. I can then play a dismantle argument, and I can destroy your plausible deniability. And that'll make all your costs go up, right? Now, the caveat is it says destroy opposing free argument. Free means no RD. So if you want to go ahead and put an RD on that plausible, it'll protect your argument so that I cannot destroy it then.
Okay.
It also shifts the crowd up by 2 immediate and 1 passive, so 3 total, bring up to 14. And you're going to start seeing your strengths go up here, and see your 5/3 bad faith is now a 4. So the crowd actually buffs all of your good faith cards, and it nerfs all of the bad faith cards on the board by 14%. Right.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
And turn.
Excellent. All right. So I'm going to. I'll play a plausible.
This leaves me in a position that I really don't like. That is basically, I don't like to, when I'm playing these kind of games, I don't like to keep just one card in my hand. I need always to have 2. It's basically so my opponent doesn't know. He can guess one of the cards, but if there's 2, it's already a thing.
Right.
It's like, for me, it's like a weapon when I have 2 cards in my hand. If I only have 1, I don't know. This game is a little bit different from the traditional trading card games, because usually there's a lot of discard cards that you can play, and if I have 2, it's one thing. If I have 1, I lose. I have nothing.
Right. Yeah.
So the element of surprise is not there anymore.
Right. Yeah, your intuition is excellent. There are a lot of cards like the ruffle feathers I played. So, for instance, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to destroy one of your arguments with dismantle argument. See, I would have destroyed your press buttons, but you covered it. So now I can't destroy it. Or so no, I would have destroyed your plausible deniability is what I would have done.
Yeah.
But I went ahead and I destroyed your strongest argument instead. Maybe I should have killed the press buttons because it's costing me 3 here. But I did also play a plausible deniability, and then I reiterated it. So that made all my costs go down by 2, right?
Okay.
Okay. And then I destroyed yours, and then I'm going to pass the turn. Now, normally, if you had an extra argument in your hand, you could play it right there and fill the gap. But you can't. So that's why you wanted to save an extra argument in your hand. And maybe I gave you bad advice. My bad. My bad. Now, yeah, you can play that, but there's nothing to destroy across from that argument.
Yeah.
So really, you should hold on to that copycat because you can't play it on any other arguments because Teddy limits 1 RD per argument. So let's just hold on. I would hold on to that copycat.
Okay. So doing the math, you're going to take. This is going to come directly to me, right? So 3. I have no defense on this line. Here
right.
You take 4.
Right. So yeah, 3 comes right at you, 4 comes right at me. So we ignored each other's arguments or dismantled. So in debates, it's generally not good to leave an argument uncontested because your opponent will declare victory on those points. And so yeah.
And here, so I have 2 defense. There's 3 coming my way, and you have nothing. So there's 7 coming your way, right? Am I right, or I'm doing bad math?
Right. So you have a 7, and I have a 5. So your 7 overpowers my 5, and I take 2 overage, right? Because 7 minus 5 is 2.
Okay, so and the 2. It's just to make sense of everything. The 2. Okay, it's what? Because I'm getting lost already. Too many numbers in front of me.
Yeah. It's a numbers game for sure.
Okay. And here, so it's 2, right? So 2 from here, so 2 from here, and then 3 coming my way and 4 coming your way.
Right, okay. Right. Yeah. So I'll be taking, now I do have my POTUS ability. So if you want to pass your turn, I'm actually going to shift. So I'm going to use my tokens and I'm going to even up these threads a little bit. Let's see. I want to deal a little bit more damage to you. So I'm going to pump my.
Okay. You can also pump your cards.
That's good. Yeah. I can pump my cards. Okay, so when I end turn, it's going to be over really quickly, 10 seconds, right? So let's go ahead and calculate it. So now the board state is as such. You have a 7, I have a 6 on the far left. So I'll be taking 1 overage there. In the next one, you'll be taking 4 overage there. The next one, I'll be taking 3 overage. So total I'll be taking 3 plus 1 is 4. And then we have a 6 versus 5. There's an extra overage. So there's 3, 4, 5 overage, right? That's, yeah. So I'll be taking 5 total overage. And then costs, I'm taking 4, 5, 6. So 6 plus 5 is 11. So I'll be going down by 11. So I'll be at, 19?
20, yeah.
19?
Yeah.
I should be about at 19, yeah. And then you have, let's see, you're taking 4 overage from me, right? And then your costs are going to be 2, 4, 6. So
that's an interesting thing, way of doing the summoning of the cards. Because usually you have a mana pool that you can charge, and then, well, You can do, there's several ways of doing it, but over here, you're just basically taking it out of your breath,
You
literally.
are, yeah. You're
Yeah,
just spinning yourself down.
yeah.
Now,
It makes a lot of sense.
normally, if we were in a live debate, right, between these two characters, I mean, this would take hours to lay out these arguments and defend them, and there's a moderator, and I mean, it might take a while, and it could get emotional, it could be exhausting, and so we try to make it kind of like that. These debates, you're not going to see a whole lot of points brought up before the debate is over. So these arguments are going to be exhausting you quite a bit, and then quickly your fortitude will be diminished, and the debate is over, right? And the crowd has only so much attention span, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Hopefully our audience is hanging on here. We're not
Yeah,
too long
they
in the
are.
lead.
And Martin, that is one of our regulars, is the super fan, is asking how much a pack. He arrived late, so he doesn't know.
Okay.
So basically, you can get your cards. There's, I'm just going to show you quickly. You can get it. I'm sharing the right thing. No, I have to. Yeah, this one. So basically, you have to go to Pixel Debates. You have the links on the description of YouTube. I think you're watching it on YouTube as usual. So you go over there, you head over there. This is on Tezos. You have to have a wallet on Tezos. It's really easy to do. On my last episode, I actually covered that, and it's easy. If you have questions, just DM me. I'll tell you how to do it quickly. And then over here, every day you can claim one free fragment of these cards, and you can go over here then. And the thing is, you have to blend them, as we know on Wax and EOS. Basically, you blend the cards to get another one. Okay, to get one. So they always, you are entitled for one. It's one free fragment per day. Of course, you have to pay the gas cost, but the gas cost in Tezos is nothing. And you'll get one card. Every day you get one for free. So after a few months, you have a lot of cards, or you can buy them, because you can claim per day not one, but 5 fragments for 140 PXL. This is their currency that is attached to Tezos, and you can get it on KipuSwap. That is a swap, just like Uniswap, but this is for Tezos. Next week, I'm going to go deep into this and explain you exactly how it works. So you can buy it like this, or you can go to the market and buy it directly in the market. If you're missing cards, you can select them here, and there's a lot of cards for sale. And then you have your collection. As soon as you have 3 fragments, and I'm going just to click here. As soon as you have 3 fragments, you can level up and get a new one. The full card that you can use in game. And in this game that we are now testing, because it's still on alpha, and now it's the question that I want to do. What can we win when we play?
Okay. How do you win?
Yeah. What do we win? Do we win pixel tokens?
Yes. Okay. So
because that's the most of the people that play these games, they are expecting something. So, and
I would think so.
Yeah.
Well, we wanted to build overall. We wanted to build actually a good game, because there are a lot of these kind of pseudo games. So forgive my judgment, but they do have a P2E, a play to earn aspect to them, but they don't really have much of a sophisticated game dynamic underneath. So our goal here is to build an actual fun strategy game that stands in its own right and that's fun to play. And on the cherry on top is, of course, you can earn Pixel. Now, before I get into the Pixel do you mind if I explain these fragments in the 1 star,
Yes.
2 star, 3
Yeah.
star?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go back into the alpha here.
Do you want to share your screen?
No, it's okay. Just go to alpha. Go to the game we're playing currently.
Okay.
In game.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's look at that copycat in your hand. Okay, that is a 0 strength, 2 cost rhetorical device, and it's a 1 star. Right. See, there's 3 stars on it.
Yeah.
One of them's highlighted. Okay. Now, if you were to collect those in the debates game, if you were to collect enough to crush that into a 2 star, then that's going to add 1 strength to that argument, or sorry, to that rhetorical device. So that'll be a 1 strength, 2 cost. Okay, and it has its normal ability, right? Okay, so if you were to collect enough cards to upgrade it to a 3 star, it's going to be a 2 strength, 2 cost rhetorical device. Now, wouldn't that be nice to have 2 extra strength on that 0 strength, right? Just, so obviously, if you're upgrading your cards, you're going to have a really big advantage over your opponent if they're not upgrading their cards. What that also means is that we're going to be implementing whenever Pixel Debates goes live. This is alpha, right? So you have access to all the cards and everything. When Pixel Debates goes live, you'll only have access to build decks out of the cards that you own in your personal collection, right? And you'll have access to your 2 star versions, your 3 star versions, or your 1 star versions. And in matchmaking, you'll be able to, you can say it's like an entrance fee for a tournament, right? You are willing to stake a certain amount of pixel for the match. Let's say you stake 1,000 pixel, right? And pixel is a few cents right now, right? It may rocket up, if we launch the game, but when we launch the game, but it's low right now. So let's say you stake 1,000 pixel, then there'll be a matchmaking algorithm, and it will match you to somebody who's within a range of your your stake, right? And also who's within range of your star level. So if you have a 15 star deck, probably you won't match with somebody has a 30 star deck. It would be probably within 7 stars of yours or something like that. So that way we'll give people it'll be reasonable. You won't match with somebody who kind of spent a lot of tokens to upgrade all their cards. It'll be within striking distance of your power level, right? But that's why you want to, in this game, if you collect the cards and upgrade them, there's direct utility. You can use that in game for a power spike.
Okay.
And that goes back also to Pixel POTUS. If you own a epic, legendary, or unique of the POTUS that you are using in this match, then you don't get taxed. So whenever you win your match, you get 80% of the total pot, and some of that gets taxed if you don't own the POTUS, right? So it gets sent to the players that do own the POTUS. So that's if you're serious about really playing to earn long term with Pixel Debates, you may want to start collecting some of your favorite POTUS as well, so that you can really maximize your earnings in that respect. So, any questions?
No. Martin was asking skill. Yeah, you need skills to play. This is always, it's not just that. You also need skills. If you have the cards in your hand and you don't know how to play them, this is, and I play a lot of this. Not this game, it's my first time on this one, but skill is one of the prime things. You can have really deep pockets and have all the best cards, but if you don't know how to play them, it's not going to work.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not my first time doing this. Anyway, let's go back to the game.
Okay.
Try to finish it.
Also, a quick mention here. We will be launching campaign mode where it's like Gauntlet. You just go back in time and you duke it out with the POTUSes, and there will be pixel prizes in there, and leaderboards and competitions, and whoever gets to the top of the leaderboard might get a pot. And then we also have, let's see, after that, stakes, PvP. Yeah, so we'll be having PvP stakes. You'll be able to custom your stakes. Now, I think one of your users asked about costs. Was there a question about costs? Oh, sorry, about timed out.
I won! Yay!
Yeah, good job. I was minimized too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, was there a question about card costs?
Yeah. Yeah, the Morton asked about how much a pack, because on Wax, and it's basically you buy a pack and then you get the cards. Over here, it's a bit different. You want to explain that?
And sorry, what was the question again?
The costs, what he was asking is how much a pack. But this is a thing that we do on, it's basically on Wax. You always buy packs of cards or boosters, as you want to know.
Okay.
We don't have this here.
Okay. I think somebody else was asking. Sorry,
Let me see.
my boss was watching the stream and texting me. So yeah, there was a strength versus cost. Okay, so yeah. So the strength versus the cost. You can see what the strength is. You can see the cost. Usually, if it has a higher strength, then it's going to cost you more as well to play it. Anything preventing in-game token from doing what they've been all doing, death spirals to worthless. Yeah. Let me answer. Okay, let's table that and answer that after this point, so I don't lose my thread. Tokenomics is man, that's something else, and we do have some really smart people that we're talking to try and maintain our economy here. But so in-game strength and costs of the cards, you tally up all your costs, and there are different abilities that can increase the costs of arguments or decrease the costs of arguments. And honestly, that's probably where you're going to be taking most of your fortitude loss. So you should really think about managing your costs. And there's also all kinds of strategies, like you were saying, counterplay. Sometimes you have to play based on your opponent's POTUS, based on how they're playing, their play style, and all kinds of things as well. So yeah, it is a skill-based game. So if you get good at this game, you can earn potentially. We don't know yet, but hopefully a lot. Now let's talk about in-game token death spiraling. Okay. So what we're seeing a lot is a lot of hype, and there's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of hype about these tokens, and there's a lot of just kind of giving away tokens, and then sort of trying to artificially manage their exchange rates and stuff like that. And what you really need, I think, for a long-term successful game, at least, tokenomics, is a sustainable model. That means there has to be commerce. There has to be token sinks where you have to use tokens in the game. And there has to be an influx of tokens, right? So you're getting an influx of tokens from us, from campaign mode, possibly, and also from other players, because players can stake tokens on their match, right? So the fact that we're going to have a PvP and that players can stake tokens is going to be extremely sustainable, because the tokens aren't just coming from us. We have a limited number. We've only released a limited number. We may trickle some out through campaign mode, along with possibly new cards and stuff, new prizes in campaign mode. But the players are earning from each other, which means that there's not going to be a bunch of pixel being dumped into the exchange. People aren't going to be cashing out. They're going to be taking their little nest egg and they're going to be earning on it like a stock market portfolio. In fact, you could probably take your favorite token, Bitcoin or something, transfer it into Pixel, play, a session, however long, and then, make sure all the exchange rates are favorable, transfer it back into Bitcoin or whatever your stable token is, and you can manage your portfolio just like something. Now, that's only for people that are, of course, skilled at the game. And or maybe you're sponsoring somebody who is skilled with your Pixel or something like that. But anyways, any other questions?
There's something. Yeah. Boone asked, "What's the total supply of the token?"
Okay, I think Pixel. I think there's like 10 million total. And there's a fraction that has been released for debates. If you look at the roadmap, pixelpotus.com at the roadmap, you can get all of the details there. I don't think I'm going to do it justice. Everything has been laid out, everybody's concerns. So if you really want to get into the nitty gritty, go to pixelpotus.com/roadmap.
I'm going to drop the link here.
So, yeah, there you go. Okay. Yeah. And that'll tell you a lot about what we're doing with it and where we're going with it. And like I say, there's more games in the pipeline. Pixel POTUS and Pixel Debates is the tip of the iceberg. If you guys like these games, I'm brimming. I'm very excited. I don't think I can tell you exactly what we've got in the pipeline yet, but hopefully, if we get some momentum with Pixel Debates and everything, we can increase the timeline, with some of these other projects, and really bring some value and utility to the platform. So that's what we offer. We are gamers. We like strategy games. My brother and I played Magic and a bunch of other types of strategy games, and we're always beefing, right? So we decided, well, why don't we make a strategy game that's really fun to play, and just did a ton of research and then a ton of testing and trying to really just invent a well-balanced strategy game from scratch. That's pretty challenging. Like I say, we were commissioned by Pixel Global to create the game for them. So my company, I'm the game designer. So we were commissioned to come up with a game for Pixel Global, which is a different entity. But yeah. So any other questions?
Right, you're doing a good job. You're doing an amazing job as far as I see it. And it does. At the moment that I know, there's like 5 or 6 trade card games. Gods Unchained, of course, it's well known. Then there's another one that I explored, but it does a lot of cards. It kills me and it's too fast. That is Skyweaver. It's also pretty interesting. And there's Wax has 2 or 3 also. And there's one in development. But this one brings some. It's very interesting. The concept is very interesting, and it brings new mechanics. And you played Magic, and you know how it goes. And I played Magic, and I'm always expecting some of that. But at the same time, you're giving it a really good twist because you're bringing new mechanics. This is mostly a brain teaser. You always have to be on top of your game just to do it. And for me, I'm going to try it. Try it a lot for sure. It has to be fun.
Yeah, I hope there's a skill curve. I mean, we could have made a brainless, button masher or something, and we may make some little kind of fun time wasters and stuff in there. But this one, I think, we think of it. We like the idea of it, and we got the approval from Pixel Global to go ahead with it, and we like the idea of a game that educates. I mean, it could be an educational tool because, I mean, you're learning about debate tactics, this is really how a lot of policy that affects people's personal lives happens. People debate, and if you go on and watch the news, if you know what fallacies are of arguments, you can say, oh, look, that's a ad hominem. Oh, that's a straw man. Oh, that's a red herring. You can really protect yourself and your family and your people that from being duped by common sneaky, underhanded, manipulative types of tactics. So I really like the idea of helping people, and really raising the bar on society, and by gamifying something that normally only nerds and geeks and maybe people that are into, I guess, politics and stuff, or classical debates. There are philosophers and stuff that are interested in actual, formal debate styles and stuff that might be picking our game apart. Hopefully not. But yeah, we really tried to actually look at how a debate happens and then translate real life, debate metaphysics into game mechanics, right? So yeah, it's a challenge, and I loved the challenge, and we're still working on it. And I mean, it's quite a project. We've got a nice community, a lot of people,
and very active too.
Yeah, a lot of people, new wallets every day, signing up, and yeah, we're building momentum. We'll see what happens. I'm optimistic.
Well, I think you're going to do fine. I'm sure. I'm trying to remember. There's one thing that you need to see, that is a deck of cards also, but is to build stories. So it's basically about storytelling. It's designed by an Italian company. I'm going to dig on my email because I have it. I bought there's 3 different decks, and if you design this, you have to see that because it's pretty amazing. It's a physical deck. Maybe it's a thing, just creates a partnership with them and do something physical, because it's amazing, and they are using now as an educational tool too. That is basically, you have a set of cards, and with those you can, for example, create the hero's journey, right? So all the things of the hero's journey are there. It's really interesting, and it's good for you to create your rhetorical aspects of the storytelling, because you play those cards and you have rules and you can actually play with it. It's really, really fun.
Anyway, brilliant.
Yeah, I'm going to dig it on my email, and I'm going to send it a link to you so you can check it out.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Yeah, we're very open to interacting with other people, other projects on the blockchain, and we're not just we're not completely stuck on Tezos. We eventually may be branching out and running games on some of the other blockchains as well. And as the blockchain technology advances in general, there's probably going to be more meta technologies that kind of connect Tezos with Ethereum and some stuff like that. So we may not have to do too much as far as developing a whole nother series and sets of smart contracts, because if you notice, the Pixel Debates and Pxlpatty and our games are run off of smart contracts. We actually use engineer special smart contracts to create different aspects of the game. Now, the actual debates game, a lot of that is built in Unity, which actually does protect. You have to be careful, with protecting your wallets and stuff like that. And there's, when you introduce a new, platform, basically, you have to be very careful. So basically, what we've done is we've figured out the most secure way to, gamify. NFTs, basically, by using game engines and interacting that with the NFT platform and all of that. So there you have it. Any other questions?
I don't see any other questions as for now. And we are already past our time, especially because I don't know if you know, I'm in Portugal, so it's almost midnight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
And tomorrow I'm on my real life, in real life, unreal life. I'm an archaeologist, so I have
Oh,
to
wow.
dig.
Yeah,
So this is my night job.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it's I spend a lot of time doing this,
Yeah,
all the
yeah, yeah.
research and
I love archaeology. We could probably talk for hours about archaeology.
yeah,
I know a little bit about almost everything. So, um, you know,
yeah. So you're like me, a lot of stuff.
just a little bit about, but about a lot of different things. So, not super specialized, but yeah, I would love to talk about that. And yeah, okay, cool. Well, thanks for your time, man. I really
And
appreciate
thanks
you.
for your time too. It was a pleasure to find a fellow geek that knows stuff, a lot of stuff. Um, if you ever have other games or crazy things that you want to share with us, just do it. Just hit me on Discord, and I'll be glad to have you again. And if you have new updates on this too, it will be a pleasure to play. And I'm going to play definitely.
Awesome,
It's
awesome.
one of the
Yeah,
things. I'm still collecting it, so I'm going to do it. Thank you very much for coming. It was a pleasure. And guys, see you Thursday. We have a show with. We're going to play tag. It's a game that you probably would love to. It's on Discord, and it's like a Dungeons and Dragons, but on a classical style. It's a bot that was designed just to interact with you, and you can play and you can get NFTs basically just by fighting, and you can add things to your inventory, weapons, skills, spells, and everything. Just playing it, it's really fun. It's crazy but fun, and
yeah,
really
yeah.
good storylines.
Sounds like my kind of game for sure.
We're going to have Jake, or Stuck at 6 p.m. He's the creator of the game. He's going to be here, and we're going to have fun playing it. Also, it's a different thing. I think that's going to also be a really geeky moment, in my opinion. Anyway, thank you very much for coming, and guys, see you.
All right. Good night.